I'm Sonia and I help people take their power back. How are you guys doing today? You doing okay, Presh? Uh-oh. Going live a few minutes early. I got my both my doggies up here this morning. Yeah, so hopefully things go all right. I keep hearing, no, sir. Yeah. Hopefully things will go okay. I may have to stop sooner than expected because I was not expecting to have both of the dogs up here this morning, but that's okay. So I am here to talk about manifesting and answer anybody's questions. If you want to come, if you have anything you want to talk about today, let me know. But hopefully I can stay on here at least for an hour or so. We'll see, depending on what happens with these hooligans. But yeah, anybody have anything they want to talk about today? I'm trying to think if I have something I can talk about. Kind of distracted. I got 2 dogs going on today, so jokers to the left, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. How are you guys doing today? Anybody have anything they want to talk about? I really don't have any. I mean, I have topics I could talk about, but nothing I really want to get into on this live. Why? What is that? I'm not giving you enough attention. This is the first time Precious has been up here with me on a live, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing, mother? You're weirdo." Hi, Jasmine. How are you doing? What? What? Oh my word. Anybody else have crazy dogs? I got crazy dogs. Very spoiled dogs. You guys have anything you want to talk about? I'm good. How are you? I'm amazing. Hoping people have some topics for this live. Because, like I said, unexpected plans and change. And I'm like, I don't have anything to talk about right now. Do you have a self-concept routine? Personally, I don't, but you gotta do what is best for you. The way I fixed my self-concept was by deciding I have a perfect self-concept and by using the affirmation, I am perfect. So whenever I would think anything of myself that I did not like, I'd be like, no, I'm perfect, so that must not be true. Because I'm lazy and got sick of trying to change, like, every little thing about me. So I'm like, well, if I'm perfect, then I must be all the things I wish I was. Well, that's just me. I really don't have a manifesting routine anymore because I have trained my brain so much, and all the things that used to be big problems for me when it came to my thoughts really aren't anymore. So I don't really look at it as flipping thoughts. It's catching myself and going back to what I want to be true instead of what I don't. But that has taken it, at first I did have to have like affirmations and think of affirmations, and that was the hardest part for me in the beginning was, okay, but if I don't think this, what the fuck am I supposed to think? So when I found like robotic affirmations, it was like, okay, have a set affirmation or a few affirmations so that when that topic comes up, you're going to focus on that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because when I very, very, very first found like mindset work, manifestation work, it was just flip your thoughts. And in the moment, I couldn't do that. Now I'm at the point where I can. I'll catch myself think something and be like, yeah, I'm not thinking that. What do I want to think instead? And I can just come up with something on the spot. But I wasn't able to do that in the beginning. SP still hasn't conformed, so I'm losing hope because I've been trying to just focus on building self-concept first, but I see no change in his behavior. Because you're focused on that his behavior doesn't change. You're looking for like, if I do this, then it'll work. This is the solution, and that's not what you're doing. You're doing all of this to change you. You need to see yourself as the person who's in the relationship you want to be in and see them as the person who wants to be with you. And all the fucking stories and thoughts and the past and all that shit has to go. If you're happy together, you're not bitching about how you've been doing this forever and it's not working. He's not changing. Why isn't he changing? He already changed. You guys are happy together. You're worthy, deserving of this relationship because you have it. So whenever you start to think about how, oh, well, what if this or what about that? That none of that's true anymore. That was or it was never true, however you like to look at it. Nope, that's not true because we're fucking happy together. So obviously I'm enough and obviously I'm amazing because he wants to spend all his time with me. Obviously he changed because he's spending all his time with me. It's not the act of affirming or affirming for your self-concept or versus affirming for him that is what does anything. It's literally changing you. As Neville put it, you have to die to one and live in the other. One state of consciousness to the other. Right now, you're in the state where he doesn't want you and you don't know if this is working and you don't know what's happening and you're looking too much and you're thinking too much from a logical 3D perspective of this is what he's doing, so it must not be working, instead of going back and telling yourself it's already done, it's working perfectly. And the only one who can tell you no is you. So you're losing hope in your own ability to change things. So I would also recommend that you start telling yourself that you know how to manifest and that it works every time, that you're so good at this, that manifesting your SP was so good, like so easy for you. And you're so good at manifesting people. Because all of that is affecting you and how this works for you. All of it. The people who are successful with robotic affirmations, I say this time and time again, is they have that one affirmation, like we're so happy together, and then anything that starts to come up about themselves, about relationships in general, about manifesting specific people, about their person, no, we're so happy together, so none of that fucking matters. Just like I did with my self-concept. I'm absolutely perfect. I'm the definition of perfection. Which means I'm confident, I'm beautiful, I'm whatever. Wanted, chosen, enough. Now, I completely fucking forgot about this, but there was a point where I did use I am enough as an affirmation. That was my first kind of robotic affirmation that I learned from Marissa Peer. I saw a talk she did for Mind Valley where she's like, the problem that all of her clients have is that they don't feel like they're enough. So if you start telling yourself, I am enough, that'll change. She recommends saying it in the shower. She's like, what else are you going to do in the shower? You know how to shower. So tell yourself, I am enough, and write it on your mirrors. So all the mirrors in your house, every time you look at them, I am enough. I've been snooping on his social media to see if he's moved on, and I know that it's Also causing me to get discouraged checking the 3D. Then there you go. You don't believe it's going to work, so you're proving to yourself that it's not working, thus creating your own misery. So stop doing that. No more checking the 3D. You are, what's it? There was something else that I was like, you are the one who is wanted and chosen. You're wanted and chosen. You don't think he's going to choose you. You're expecting him to be with somebody else. So really ask yourself why that's your go-to. I'm not enough, I'm not wanted, I'm not chosen. Which all goes back to not being enough. But I kind of feel too much. I mean, you're a human, so... Hi, Sonia. Do you have any tips for manifesting things like random stuff? Hello. Random stuff? It's... all manifestation is the same. You think about it. You think about telling yourself... you just tell yourself that things are, or that thing is, the way that you want it to be. I know, like, the reason it's hard to believe that all manifestation is the same is because certain topics feel so much harder than others, but it's all the same. Whatever you are thinking about and telling yourself is true. So if you want to see a specific breed of dog, you just think about seeing that breed of dog. Or if you want the line at the grocery store to go away, you just tell yourself that there's no line at the grocery store. This is all shit I've done, so I'm speaking from experience. It's no different. Ashi, much live love. Hello. But all manifestation is the same thing. Your thoughts create your reality. What you think and focus on and what you tell yourself is your experience in this moment. And if you choose to see things differently, there is a delay in the 3D. It is not, it's instant within you. When you make the decision and you make that change within you, it is instant. But then the 3D takes a second to catch up. So it's about returning to the decision you made to be a different version of you. Because as long as you continue to think the same way, you're going to get more and more of the same shit. It also depends on, how you naturally think. And for me, it's affirmations. I mostly think in words. So I just, instead of thinking about things in a way I don't like them to be, I choose different sentences to focus on. States and realities are literally just, oh my God, I hate my life. That's a state. That's a reality. Oh my God, I love my life is a state. It's a reality. Whatever you choose to focus on is what you will get more of. How to speed up manifestation. Drop the old shit and focus on it already being done. And stop giving a fuck about the time. If you had it, it's already done. But the longer you focus on old things, the longer it is going to persist. You have to start seeing things differently. You need to tell yourself that everything that is happening is getting you closer to what you want. That things are going to change any minute now. As Neville said, the only thing to change is self. There's nothing else you can do to speed things up. Things will happen when they happen. But it also has to do with your belief of how long it's going to take. Because it is your entire belief system that is always creating your reality. So if you think this topic, oh, that's going to take years, you're right, it will. But if you can focus on, no, that's not true, it can happen fast, it happens so fast, things can change overnight. You're welcome. I wish I could give tips on how to get shit instantly. No. Understanding that when you think something, you are in that reality, whether it feels like it or not. And the more you just focus on things being the way that you want them to be, the faster shit will change. I've been reading Neville. He actually only speaks about a week or 10 days delay. Yeah, and it all depends on you. Like when Neville speaks on getting out of the military, he knew that by going to bed every night, telling and imagining being home, that he was going to go home. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if you do your whatever you're doing and then spend the rest of the day bitch, whining, moaning, and complaining, then it's going to fucking take longer because you're not in the state. You're doubting and wondering and questioning. You're in the state of it not working. And it's all dependent on your state. It's all dependent on you. And if you get caught up on, oh my God, it's taking too long, you're not in the state of having what you want. And when you're truly focusing on having what you want, you don't even fucking care that you don't have it because you know don't even start, you two. You know it's done. When you're doing the actual work and you are focused on having what you want, you don't even give a fuck that you don't have it. Yes, exactly. The feeling it real he talks about is knowing. It's all about knowing. There's a lot of things I didn't know or believe what would happen, but I just kept focusing on that's what was going to happen, and it did. It's where you need to have that belief system of, I know how to manifest. This is so easy for me. I get what I want when I want it. Things always work out for me. That would all be true if you were in the state of being a successful manifester and getting what you want. So hi, Moons. How are you today? Oh, just so you guys know, doing good. Awesome. I'm probably not going to be able to stay on here as long as normal. I don't know. I'm doing amazing. I had a change of plans today, so I don't know how long I'm actually going to be able to stay live, but I can probably stay live for like another 45 minutes at least. So if you guys have stuff you want to talk about, let me know. And I have an extra dog up here, so I may have to jump off if chaos ensues, but it shouldn't. No worries. Get off the live when you want. Can you please talk a little more about everyone is you pushed out? So your experience is your thoughts. Like what you think about things is your experience, and that is what is real to you. So other people are who you think they are. So if somebody does something and you're like, oh my God, that person is such an asshole, then they're an asshole. And you're always going to see them through the filter of them being an asshole. Everyone is who you think they are in all situations. Like, that is how this works. Everything is you pushed out because everything is the meaning that you are putting to it. Do you watch Sammy Ingram? Yep, she's the one who helped me start to understand this shit. I live far away from SP. I'm in Morocco. He's in the US. So, it's a circumstance. Focus on being together. Focusing on having the thoughts you would have if you guys were together. Because right now you are focused on, we can't be together because we don't live in the same place. So guess what? You're fucking right. So you focus on thinking from the reality, from the experience of things being the way you want them to be. Because your brain, your subconscious, the part that is creating and like bringing it all together, does not know the difference between something that is real and something you are making up. As Joseph Murphy said, your subconscious takes you at your word. Whatever you are feeding it is what you are going to get more of. So if you focus constantly on how you are in different countries, different parts of the world, you can't be surprised when that's what you continue to experience. I mean, he's still gonna catch my thoughts. Everyone is connected. Everything is connected. There's not like, oh, you need to be within a 10-mile radius stalking this person in order for this shit to work. You don't even have to know people in order to get this shit to work. As Neville Goddard would say, most manifestations come through other people. And if it takes one person, 10 people, 100 people, 100,000 people, 100 million people, 1 billion people to move to get you what you want, they will fucking move. So it does not matter that there's distance between you. You're the one who's decided that you can't have what you want because of a circumstance. And circumstances don't matter because in the reality you want to be in, you're together. So none of that matters. So think from that reality, meaning we are together, and let the rest of that shit go. Hi, JD. Oh, this is relaxing. Thank you so much. You are welcome. You are welcome. But that's all states and realities are, or living from the end. Right now, you're living from the end of we can't be together because we're not in the same country. Okay, so the way that you think about that all the time, start thinking about how amazing it is to be together. That's all you do. Shift that and let the rest go. Because you're not going to figure out how the fuck you're going to end up together. This is what people are talking about when they... Joseph Murphy was a good teacher. I think he was Neville's student. I've heard he was Abdullah's student. So they have a very similar... They're very similar and very different. I think because Neville was more of a visualizer and Joseph Murphy's more like affirmations, prayers, but they're definitely teaching the same shit. But when people talk about planting the seeds, they aren't talking about that it takes months and months and months and months and years for your manifestations to come into fruition, unless that's what you believe it means. But what they're talking about is if you plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree. That seed has everything that needs to grow an apple tree. You don't plant an apple seed and expect to get corn. It's the same with your thoughts. If you are planting consistently, we're not together, we're not together, we're not together, we can never be together. You are planting, we're not being together. And then you're expecting to be together. You're planting an apple tree expecting corn. And that's not how it works. You plant the seed of we are together, and then you feed the story of us being together. That's all it is. Facts. I used to take that as like, oh my god, it's gonna take so long for things to change, and oh my god, things can change so fucking fast. They really can, but you gotta focus on things being the way you want them to be. Whatever you consistently tell yourself will create your physical reality, aka it will be proven to you to be true. Yes. That's it. Like, that's all you need to know in order to manifest anything. That's all it is. No. That's all reality is. Yes, your reality is whatever you are telling yourself that it is. Whatever you believe is true for you. This is why everyone has a different opinion and all function perfectly well in the world. Everyone is functioning from a different belief system. There are no two people on the planet who believe exactly the same thing. But we all function here together. The no was an accident. Oh no, you're good. I was just like, no. But we look at it this way. We live in an eternal now. The only thing that exists is right now. In right now, you can only be experiencing one thing. The thing that you are focusing on is going to have a ripple effect into your future because we live in an eternal now, so the future is going to be the now. So what you're focusing on now will shape where you're going. And the more you focus on things being the way you want them to be and that things are working out for you, you are going to get more of that. You will see it, and when you start to really see it is when you start looking back or start looking at other people and what they talk about all the time. The people who are like, nothing good ever happens, there's always something going wrong, you know, that kind of shit. They always have something to bitch, whine, moan, and complain about because that's what they focus on. Sunny, last night I realized something that I intended came true. That's the other thing. And Moons will probably back me up on this. I have so many things that happen or are already happening, and then I realize that, like, oh, I've had my manifestation for a while. I just didn't fucking recognize it as my manifestation because it came in a way I wasn't expecting it to, or a way that wasn't... a way that I was like, well, it's not my real manifestation because it wasn't exactly what I meant. But it's like, I got what I fucking wanted, so why am I bitching about it? But that's fucking awesome, Moons. Yes, we cannot be in two states at the same time, but we're always in a state. Exactly. So if you don't like your state, change it. I had my nose piercing removed over 5 months ago, and I had a mark because of it. And I remembered every time I washed my face, I would affirm that the scar on my nose was gone. Is it gone now? That's some good placeboing right there. That's awesome. I completely forgot about it. Then last night I realized it was completely gone. I was in shock. I've had those things happen where it's like, holy crap. That it happened. How about affirming in English? I am an Arabic speaker. Does affirming in English tongue have an effect? Your thoughts, the way you think right now, manifests perfectly. It doesn't have anything to do with speaking in a specific language or a specific wording of your affirmations. It's the state that you are thinking from. So how you think about not having what you want, you need to start thinking you do have what you want, whether that's in pictures or in Arabic or in English or making up your own fucking language, doesn't matter. Your brain knows what you're talking about. Kept looking in the mirror several times to confirm it. That's funny. That is funny. It is as Neville said, there's nothing to change but self. Like I said earlier, there is nothing to change but self. So however you can most easily change yourself, your perspective, and remind yourself that things are now the way you want them to be, instead of bitch, whining, moaning, and complaining about how you don't have what you want, then that's how you do it. It's not the act of affirming that manifests. It's choosing that this is how things now are. I used to think it was like, oh, I need the right affirmation or it's not gonna work, and it's not what you're doing. So what I would do is I would pay attention to, YouTube moons. Yeah, it's like, oh, I must not be wording it right. My subconscious doesn't understand. And it's like, no, my subconscious it's working perfectly, because the thing I'm dominantly feeding it is the crap I don't want to be true anymore. So the thing that helped me the most was paying attention to how I naturally think and realizing how I am thinking is manifesting perfectly. I'm just not manifesting what I want. But I am consistently bitching about shit, and that's what I'm getting more of. So the way I naturally think, which is in words, instead of being like, oh my God, I hate this, it's not working, I would start telling myself, oh my God, I love my life, everything's perfect. I remember the YouTube videos that would say these 3 powerful words and you will get what you want overnight. Yeah, and I know that works for some people because they believe that it will. Again, it's all on your belief system. You're like, oh, that's all I have to do to get what I want, and you do it and it works. But if it doesn't work, the reason it didn't work is because you didn't believe it was going to work. The thing that so many teachers, whether they're specifically manifestation teachers or they are just personal development teachers in general, I can think of multiple people that speak on, like, do this thing. I think even Neville's one of them. It's like, visualize being in Barbados at night, but then walk as if you're in Barbados during the day. The part that everyone fucking skips over is once you do the imaginal act, you keep yourself in that fucking state. That's just the, like, the not sexy parts, it's like, side note, the thing that's going to make it work is not thinking against it. I used to repeat those videos, I used to report those videos around a year ago. I was so jaded. I hate money scamming people. Oh yeah. Someone commented on one of my TikTok videos. They're like, there's somebody who claims you have to have 100% perfect self-concept in order to manifest. So pay me $4,000 so I can help you get that. And I was like, and this person who commented that was like, yeah, I was like, that's only because that's what you believe. And then that person blocked him. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, of course they did. You're bad for business. I'm just gonna fucking tell you right now, you don't need to buy coaching with me. Everything I would teach you in coaching, I speak on my YouTube videos and on my TikTok. There's nothing to fucking gatekeep. Your thoughts create your reality. Change how you think consistently and let the rest go. That's it. Like, that's it. Facts. Like, that's the only video I have to make. And if you watch my videos, that's it. Like, that's the through all of them. At this point, I'm making videos and I feel like I'm just repeating myself because it's like I don't really have much more to say other than that. Things are whatever you think they are. Change how you view it, and your experience will change. But you have to do it with that faith, as Neville would say, in the time between you thinking something different and it actually changing in your physical world. Because there is a delay. Can it be a short delay? Fuck yeah. Can it be a very short delay? Absolutely. But there's still going to be a delay of some kind. Because we do function under the laws of physics. Manifesting is not magical. It's selecting what you want to experience. We are already doing it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it's also the explanation of why prayer works or why witchcraft works or any of that kind of stuff. Any religious beliefs, all of it. It's because it's what you believe. What you believe is your experience. And you are going to get proof that that is how the world works because that's your belief system. And it works for you because you believe it. It all comes back to that. People look at manifestation like it's this magical thing that only happens to certain people, but it's not. Everyone is doing it. Yes. Oh, yeah. It's like... And so many of the people teaching it are like, oh, well, I figured it out. I know the secret and you don't. Because they want to fucking make money off of you. They went to some fucking business classes, obviously not fully understanding manifesting, and are like, oh, well, I know how to do it and you don't. But that's not what it is. You have always been doing it. You have always been thinking. Always. Now you're going to choose to think differently. Just select what you want from thinking from the reality you want to experience. Because creation is finished. Exactly. If you can imagine it, you can continue to imagine it. Where we fucking cut ourselves short is, oh, well, the odds of that happening, or, well, that would never happen to me, or other people would judge me for that. It's actually quite fun. It is fun. It was supposed to be fun. But that's where we get ourselves caught up, you guys, is where it's like the limitations, the limiting beliefs, which being like, I can't have that is a limiting belief. How do you squash your limiting belief? By telling yourself that it's bullshit and moving the fuck on. Don't focus on that you have limiting beliefs. Focus on having what you want, because in the reality where you have what you want, you don't have limiting beliefs. Nothing is keeping you from what you want because you have it. The end. But I had a massive problem with preparing for disappointment, being afraid of being disappointed. Well, if I get my hopes up and it doesn't work out, and guess why it didn't work out? Because I was expecting it to not work out. That can't possibly work out. That's too good to be true. So guess what? It was. Because it was my belief and what I told myself. Yep, it's already within us. Yes, it's within us. If you can imagine it, just like you can imagine something bad happening, if you can imagine something good happening and being like, man, I really wish that's what would happen, then put your energy there. It's like I was saying earlier, we live in an eternal now where you can only experience one of those things. And when things happen, and when you are truly focused on having what you want, and then the 3D does something that you don't like, you cannot... My goodness, you're snoring loud, Prush. I don't know if you guys can hear Precious snoring. But when you see something you don't like, I have so many people, I've been doing this good and then something slapped me in the face. And it's like, you do not get to control or choose how things are going to unfold. You don't know how you're going to get from not having your shit to having your shit. And by deciding that what is happening in front of your face is against what you want, you don't believe you're going to get what you want and are focused on not having it. Even if it was fake, thinking positive can only do good. Basically, we have nothing to lose. Yes, that. Absolutely that. I will never go back to thinking crappy thoughts because I just feel better thinking in a positive way. And it's not toxic positivity because, like, I have my moments where I don't feel good, but I get back, pick myself up, dust myself off. Yeah, Jax was over here earlier. Now he's like, I don't want to be over here by my sister. Let's see if we can show Prushy. Where are you, Prush? Oh, can we see you? There she is. She's like, I'm sleeping. Snoring. Quite literally. Life really goes up just by thinking positive habitually. I agree. It's so adorable. She is adorable. She's my baby. Her birthday was this week. I've had her for 14 years. But yeah, you have a habit of thinking shitty thoughts and thinking that you can't have what you want and being mean to yourself and all that shit. And it has to go. And that's part of why it feels so hard in the beginning to think different things and shift your focus, is because you are breaking an old habit that could be like a lifelong habit that you've been doing for decades, depending on how long you've been thinking that way. Happy belated birthday, Precious. Everyone thinks you're adorable and say happy birthday. She's like, thank you. This is where I really focus on manifesting being a lifestyle. It is that constant choice of choosing to view things as going in my favor, as me getting what I want, as things working out for me. I used to be the habitual thinker of everything sucks and nothing ever works for me, and like that was my default mindset, is everything's horrible. And it fucking sucks, and I was miserable. Guess why? Because of the way I used to view everything. And it took time for me to break that habit of going to those shitty places. But you can break it, and then you will spend less and less time in those shitty spaces, and when you fall into them, they feel so like gross that you bring yourself back. You're like, I don't want to be here. But it's not about like, oh, I can't feel bad. Like, if I feel like crying or if I want to be fucking angry, I'll do it. I don't, like, who cares? But then once I, like, get myself, I come back, I pick myself up, dust myself off, and move the fuck on. It's a lifestyle, and I love it. Oh, me too. I manifested my cat back the other day. I kept repeating, it's here, it's here. See? Exactly, and that's how you'll get your SP. Me too, Sonia. Yeah. I was thinking about this earlier. It's like, I don't know how to explain to people other than the affirmations I was telling myself like this time last year, and all the stuff I wanted to change about my default mindset has changed and is now the natural thoughts that I think. And the thoughts of being miserable are fucking foreign, just as the ones that used to, you know, like the other way used to be normal. I actually grew up abused, walking on eggshells, and always prioritizing people. Same here. The past is the past. You can continue to hold on to that shit and let it rule your life, or you can let it the fuck go. If you need to go to therapy to let it go, then that is an option. But at the end of the day, as long as you continue to live from that story of this is my life and there's nothing I can do about it, and, you know, for lack of a better way of putting it, being in a victim state, this happened, so nothing can ever work out for me. You're right. And therapy is the best. If you can't just let it go, then I would recommend going to therapy and working through that shit. Now do that with everything. Yes, exactly. The way that you manifested your cat coming back, this is my other biggest advice for you guys, is when you have something. I know it's harder to do with like you're manifesting everything's a manifestation, but if you can look at your life and realize the correlation between what you are experiencing and what you're thinking, it's huge. But when you have something that you successfully manifest like that, I wanted my cat to come back and they came back. The way that you did that, apply that to other things, because manifestation is all the same. It's all the same. So how were you thinking about it? How much were you thinking about it? Apply that, because you are not me. You need to do what's best for you. Everything is the same to manifest. Same thing with me, Sonia. My affirmations are now my natural thoughts. Yeah. Therapy didn't do me any better. I've tried for years, discovered Devil in January, and am evolving. I did therapy too, and while I took some stuff from it, the thing that has fucking helped me the most is realizing that I can just let that shit go. The past isn't even fucking real anymore. And, revision is real. You can literally look at the past and put a completely different story to it. I was never like that. That never happened. Like, you can do whatever you want. However, you need to start thinking about things. Like, this is from my experience and is something that I wish somebody would have just told me to do. Start thinking about everything the way you wished it would have happened. Because you don't have to stay attached to an identity you don't want a part of anymore. I manifested my cat getting better. Yay, look at that. You might like EFT tapping. Try it. Yeah, that's another thing that can help. Facts. Letting go is the way to go. I 1000% agree. I held on to so much shit for so long. And I've noticed recently, how much I still hold on to shit. Like, it's kind of a problem for me. So I caught myself and was like, my new favorite go-to affirmation, I was telling myself this morning, I easily let shit go. I easily let shit go. If it is not beneficial to me, I can easily just let it go. Yes, I let go and stopped his meds, and he's so much better now. That's awesome. That is awesome. Healing our critters. Yeah, Jax is off his meds, and he would never know he hurt his back. Never knew. And I'll tell you, one of my habits that I had to let go of was thinking that the past is important. Thinking that I have to, your identity is your past and where you've come from, and that's all true, and, that bullshit. And it doesn't have to be. If you want to be, you can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to let the past define you. It's a choice. He's been sick for 4 years, poor guy. Oh, well then good job getting him better. Healing to all the animals in the world. Absolutely. Sonia, another thing I used to have an issue with in the beginning was that I used to confuse living in the end with acting as if. Oh my god, the fucking acting as if. Listen, I know there are people who that works for. I know Naya is one of them. She talks about how when she was manifesting money, she would like go to the expensive stores, acting as if, and then just being like, yeah, but I don't want to buy anything, that kind of stuff. My law of attraction coach was really big into the act as if, like, go do something that you would do if you had what you want. I always felt like the biggest fucking dumbass trying to come up with shit that I would do if I had what I want. And I would do the thing and be like, okay, I did it. Why is nothing changing? And the answer is because I didn't change. Living from the end and acting as if are two completely different things. Acting as if, to me, now this isn't completely, like I said, for some people, actually doing something can help them be like creating that life. Like, this is what I do. I go into these kind of stores, or I speak this way, whatever, right? But for me, realizing this, that living from the end and being in a different state of consciousness is thinking differently. Truly. So the best example that's coming to mind for me was when I decided to get on YouTube. I first had to decide I was a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. And I told myself that for a few weeks. And then the desire to start posting videos came after that. I didn't go, I'm a YouTuber, and then like act as if I was a YouTuber, trying to force myself to be a YouTuber. I internally identified as one and then let the rest unfold. That's the difference. If you're going to do things that are, acting as if, and that helps you to focus your mindset on telling yourself that you are the person who does this shit, then it can help you. But if you're thinking that doing things in the 3D are going to get you an outcome to change you, you're doing it backwards. That's not how it works. Yes, please explain that. Hopefully that explained that. That causes people to go crazy. I agree, and that's not living in the end. Yeah, I agree. It's like, I know some people do some things like that, and it does help them to shift their focus. But if you don't understand that that's what you're trying to do, and that this is all about your imagination, it's not gonna fucking work. Oh my god, I don't know the difference. It's ridiculous. It causes unnecessary stress for people for no damn reason. Yeah, that. Fucking that. I was so uncomfortable with acting as if. It made me so fucking uncomfortable. I'll give you another example. And I've spoken on this before, but I used to be so quiet and shy, and I wanted to be more confident, and I did a lot of different like courses and shit on confidence and learned about confidence, and doing things to like be more confident made me so fucking uncomfortable and made me feel like such a fucking dumbass. And I will honestly say that I probably grew through those experiences, but until I decided that I'm confident and comfortable around people, and people understand me and accept me, and everybody loves me, changing that shit, like the self-concept shit, the internal way of me viewing everyone and everything and myself, I could do fucking all kinds of shit to pretend I was more confident, but it didn't change a damn thing because I didn't change. And that's the difference. Hi, Sonia. How do you get yourself out of the loop of feeling you need to fix yourself? I think that's why I change my affirmations so much. You need to tell yourself that there's nothing to fix. that you're completely healed. I remember having to do that because I fucking got tired of like all this healing work and what else is wrong with me and blah, blah, blah. I'm perfect. I'm healed. Whenever you want to be like something must, no, I'm fucking perfect. I'm healed. There's nothing to fix. I am like literally the thing I used with my self-concept was I'm perfect. And focusing on that my self-concept is perfect. Everything about me is perfect. I guess as long as you're focusing on that something is wrong with you, you're always going to find something wrong with you. So I imagined a scene that implies I'm my SP's fiance mentally and living there. That's not acting as if, right? No, that is not acting as if. That is you focusing on having what you want, right? So here's what I was talking about earlier, where people are like, okay, you do the imaginal act and then you get what you want. Kind of. Like, the imaginal act, like you imagined it, now that is your reality. So throughout the day when you're thinking about SP, oh no, we're together, we're so happy. Letting go of all the rest of the shit because that's what you are now experiencing. You are choosing that experience. So as much as you can, you come back to telling yourself that that is how things are now. Acting as if is like doing shit in the 3D. It's kind of, to me, it's like the law of attraction way of like forcing the 3, manipulating the 3D, kind of. The 3D is a dead world. That. The 3D is a dead world. You can look at the 3D two ways, in my opinion. You can look at it as this is just old story playing out. It's dead. This doesn't mean anything. Or you can look at it as I'm doing the inner work. I'm focused on having what I want. So whatever I am experiencing is me getting fucking where I want to go. Because the only one who can determine that you're not getting where you want to go is you. Affirming I am perfect in every way is good for self-concept. Yep, that's what I affirm. Yeah. I had so much shit that I was like, I need to change this about myself and fix this and that and this and that and the other thing and blah, blah, blah. I got to the point, I remember Naya talking about that she used, I have a perfect self-concept. And then I was like, well, what if I was just perfect? Then none of these fucking problems are a thing. And then like a few days later, Sammy Ingram put up a video about you can just tell yourself everything's perfect. I'm like, yeah, doing that. Spent a year fixing myself and realized I was just worrying about what I needed to fix and more stuff came up. Yep, the law was working perfectly. So now you understand exactly how the law works. You manifested that perfectly. I know it wasn't something that you wanted, but you have to understand that you are not just manifesting stuff that you want. It's not the fix your life solution. It is how you function in the world. So the stuff like that, you manifested that. Congratulations. You're a master at manifesting. Now take what you learned from that experience and apply it to getting you where you want to go. Only you can stop yourself. I love looking at the 3D as a mirror or a shadow. Yeah. There are no blocks except the blocks you give yourself. That. Oh my god, I must have blocks, it's not working. The block is that you fucking think you have a block and that you're telling yourself it's not working. Literally, it's that simple. I like that affirmation, Moons. I like that one too. Everything about me is perfect. I am the very definition of perfection. If you look up perfect in the dictionary, there is a picture of me. And once you can see it as, okay, I'm the one deciding that there's something wrong with me and I can change that. And I am going to have to get off of here because my dogs are about to go crazy because people are home. So I had a lot of fun talking with you guys. I will be back Tuesday night at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And next Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time to come hang out with you guys. The subconscious mind knows what you mean by perfect. It's the perfect blanket affirmation. Abso-fucking-lutely. Your brain knows what you think, what you mean, whether you believe that or not. It does. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Love and light.